Get 'em up, let's jive, let's go, guys. Come on, feel the beat, feel the heat. Here we go now. Jive Talkin back again. Have a little fun with my friends. We do hard rockin' news, hard rockin' times, heavy metal too. Oh, we jive. Hit bad notes, but that's alright. Jive Talkin with Shane D. You get your motherfucking heavy metal news for free. What's up? What's down? What's going all around? Shit, bitch, snap. Motherfucker. Jive Talk. One, two, time, come on, baby, go. Jive Talking with your friend Shane. We're gonna start the show. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be some news. It's gonna be some talk. It's gonna be a little bit of squawk. Motherfucking jive. Jive. Oh shit, that was good. That was damn fantastic. If you don't mind me asking myself and saying that, I think that sounded pretty damn good. Had a bit of a Will Smith kind of a feel, a bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of the people that we talked about before. It's not CNC Music Factory, but it's Pump Up the Jam, Pump It Up, Get It. It had all of those elements in there, and it wrapped up in a beautiful way as to start this podcast. Welcome, one and all. What is it? 114 episodes of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. Are you one of those really cool people that has watched or listened to every single episode? You might be. I'm not going to call you a liar. I mean, if you listen to it, you do. If you don't, you don't. But I sure would like it if you could round up Mammy, Pappy, Meemaw, Uncle Jake, get them all over there to my Spotify to hit the 5-star reviews and get that up there. There's like 11. And I would like to see like 7,500 reviews. I mean, you see that all the time on TikTok, right? Here I am. I'm asking you to make this go viral in some form or fashion and have all these people just go, wee, and they go over there and give me a review. I don't even care if they listen to the podcast. I just want the 5-star review. But you see that all the time. You know, the guy will be, this is the first time I played guitar in 40 years. And, he's got arthritis or something. And then he belts out this beautiful little tune that you've never heard before or whatever. And then boom, he's to the moon. And he's like, guys, I'm moving out of remember the shack that I've been living in for the last 45 years? I'm moving out of that. I got myself a mansion because of you guys. So thank you so much for that. Jesus, is this getting off on the wrong foot? We got lots of stories here, guys. We got something on Dave. We got something on Ace. We're talking some Buck Cherry boys. We're talking a little bit of Motley Crue, some Jacoby, and maybe, of course, your comments, but a splash of a John 5. Because when he's not on tour with Motley Crue, he does his own solo thing where he does an 8-minute segment dedicated to Motley Crue. Let's get into it, though. I needed to find out what was going on with David Ellefson here because, he says some snarky things. They both say, Dave Mustaine and Dave Ellefson say snarky things to each other all the time through the media. I think he's going to open up here. You see that face there? It looks like he might cry. But he says, what I miss about being in Megadeth. Now, he's probably going to say something like, there's not a whole lot, trust me, there's not a whole lot, but here's this tiny little thing that I miss. Let's find out. Let's see what he's got to say about it. In a new interview with the Metal Voice conducted at this year's NAMM convention in Anaheim, California. Did you go to that? Was it fun? Former Megadeth bassist David Ellefson was asked if Dave Mustaine has reached out to him since his last exit from the band. Ellefson said, Nope, absolutely not. Nope. He has not reached out. As for whether he misses being in Megadeth, Dave said, of course. I mean, look, it's my band too. I helped start it. Remember in that little apartment? And I came upstairs asking if he would buy me some cigarettes or something like that. But let me be clear. There are things about it, of course, that I miss. The fans, the performances, the shows, and enjoyed the touring. What about your sweet old pal Dave? You ain't got a mustard stain for him? You ain't got a little splooge of love for him? I'm a road warrior, man. I'm a wanderlust guy. My fortune in life is out there, not just sitting at home. I've tried that, and I get bored after about a month of it. I'm a shitty golfer, and I can't surf worth a damn. So I may as well stay on the road and play. Look, of course, there's things about that and the big gig and everything, but Megadeth was not always a big gig. We started out where everybody else starts out. It was small gigs, so I've known it from the bottom to the top. And I go back to the slide, and I go for a ride, and I see you again, and everything in between. But honestly, as the tides turn and as things go, I'm super happy and very content with everything I'm doing now. So he's still doing that band Liquid something. What was they called? Liquid, it's not Liquid Tension, is it? Have a sip of this terrible, it is sparkling water, but I like a little more pang of lemon in there or something, you know, whatever it is, berry, lemon, or whatever. But honestly, as the tide turns, things go. I'm super happy and very content with everything I do. I always say I'm making music with, like, people I like. To me, now, at my age, at this point, I've already got a Grammy. I'm good. Those are the things that are more important to me now. And at this point in my life, those are the things that are more important to me. The Grammy is more important to you? Do you have children, David? Important to me now at this point in my life. It's enjoying what I do, who I do it with. Ellefson was fired from Megadeth in 2021, days after sexually tinged messages and explicit video footage. They always say sexually tinged and explicit video. Is there anything sexually tinged if you have explicit video footage? Involving the bassist where were posted on Twitter. And still, I mean, it's one of the best kept secrets in the world. Not that I would go hunting down to see any of his explicit videos, but I hear this thing happened. I didn't see a lick of it. I didn't see a single frame of anything that was not good. Shortly before Ellefson was dismissed from Megadeth, he released a statement on Instagram. That's where you go. I put it on my Instagram because people see my face on there and they know it's my account. They see that little blue check. They know that the message that's being posted on Instagram, it's for me. What did he say on Instagram? Denying all social media chatter that he groomed an underage fan. He also filed a report with the police department in Scottsdale, Arizona, that an innocent man doesn't do that, or a guilty man doesn't do that, alleging unlawful distribution of sexually explicit images of him by unknown offenders. Well, this is just how my brain works, is if I sit down at this computer and my webcam, and then I plop out my ding-dong, I'm thinking that anyone on the other side of that camera might be the ones that would put those pictures on Twitter. Is that how that works? I don't know. I don't know. We do not take decisions lightly. While we do not know this is Dave Mustaine. Hold on. Unknown offenders. Mustaine, who formed Megadeth with Ellefson in 1983, that little apartment where he threw the plants down the stairs, and then little David Ellefson came up and says, "Could you get me some cigs? I need some cigarettes and beer." And Dave said, "All right, just get in here, you little ding-dong." In a statement, Dave said, "We do not take this decision lightly. While we do not know every detail of what occurred with an already strained relationship, what has already been revealed now is enough to make working together impossible moving forward." In April 2023, Ellefson spoke to the Spain's The Metal Circus. Oh, he talked to the Metal Voice, and then he talked to the Metal Circus. And if you've ever been to a circus, the ringleader, the Voice, the Metal Voice, the Metal Circus. about the fact he's constantly being associated with his former band, even as he tries to launch several new projects. Are they going to mention that thing? Kings of Thrash, yes, we know that. Dieth, he said, I'm always going to be known for my work in Megadeth. But me not being in Megadeth is not of my choice. I think people are appreciative that I'm continuing to make music, at least for what I've seen, at least from what I've seen of it, of the people out there. They like it, what I'm doing. It's not like I left the band and said, fuck you, I'm out of here, I'm out. Because if I did that, and then I was trying to start new bands, people would be like, fuck you, Ellefson. You left our favorite band. Fuck you. We don't care. People know that that was not my decision. It's not the way I would have handled that at all. He's going to say clearly he's not mad about the past. I'm not disrespectful. I didn't just close the door on Megadeth and say, fuck you. Hoo, hoo, hoo. All right, we're done with that. Let's get into Ace, because Ace Frehley. Do you know who he is? You see that video we put up this week? What did I call it? Ace Frehley hits us with 10,000 volts of sloppy. Sometimes I feel so damn bad for making videos, but then I'm like, I mean, I'm not being like, totally horrible, am I? Ace Frehley's going to tell us about, I think he did try to speak with those guys, Paul Eason and Gene Simmons, about playing the last show. And he couldn't make it happen. So let's see what he says here. Ace Frehley on his absence from Kiss's final show. I did try, but I couldn't make it happen. Speaking exclusively to Rock Candy magazine as part of an in-depth 14-page cover story, founding member and much-loved guitarist Ace Frehley explained to writer Andrew Daly why he never made it on stage one last time with Kiss for their final show at the Madison Square Garden last December, after last leaving the band back in 2002. Good gravy, how time flies, right?
Fans would constantly reach out to me and say, Ace, please come back to the band. So the fans are my primary motivators. And I wanted them to know that I tried, but I couldn't make it happen. They never asked me.
Well, you know what happened the last time he called Paul? Paul called him back and said, fuck you. That's all he said to him over the phone. He says, he's looking at his phone. Ace Frehley was looking at his phone, and he says,
I recognize that number. That's Paul Stanley.
And then he says, you're not going to believe this, what Ace says next. He answers the phone, he hits the button, beep, hello, and Paul says, go fuck yourself. That's pretty rude. Maybe he'll mention it here. Frehley's dismissed the idea that his well-documented troubles with drugs and alcohol could ever have been a reason for former bandmates and Kiss leader Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley not reaching out to him. Remember what Paul said? He said, piss. And after I made that video this week, I kind of went, he was kind of right about that. Remember when Paul Stanley was on Howard Stern? He said, why don't you invite the old guys back? And he goes, well, we'd have to change the name to Piss.
I'm sober. And all my friends and associates will tell you as much. I got to the point in life where drugs and alcohol had taken me over. And I'm just so happy to be away from all that. Despite the much-reported rifts between Simmons and Stanley over many years, nevertheless, Frehley insists that he still has an affection for both of them. That band has a very weird relationship, don't they? I mean, they'll sit there and tell each other to fuck off and all this, and they're the worst players in the world, and this, that, and the other thing. And then you'll see him in an interview say, I love him. I love him. That's family, right? Family that doesn't let you come up on stage or be part of the final show ever of the thing you created. I want Paul to know that I do love Paul and Gene. I wish things would have been different, but it wasn't to be. Nor does Frehley
hold an animosity toward his replacement Tommy the T-Man Thayer.
He's a good guy and deserves a break. He's not me, but he was never going to be me. In a lot of ways, his task was way impossible.
With a new solo album, 10,000 Volts, on the way, Frehley is excited about his future, from the band that made him a star. What? With the new solo album, 10,000 Volts, on the way, Frehley is excited about his future, away from the band that made him a star.
My new music will be a smash hit. The checks might not be flying in, but I'm satisfied with what I'm doing musically. I can wake up each day and pull my little legs out of my bed. I sit up and I have a half glass of water and take my vitamins, any pills that I need. But then I get up, and I know when I can wake up in the morning, I know that my soul is mine. I got my soul and my muscle and my music back.
You can read Rock Candy's 14-page Ace Frehley special, together with many other fascinating stories about Megadeth, Foghat. Boy, I haven't heard that name in a long time. What was their song? Slow ride, take it easy. Was that them? There's also a feature with Madam X and Damn Yankees, and more in an issue 42 of the magazine. You can go to rockcandymag.com if you'd like to partake in that. Let's get into Buck Cherry. He's going to explain to us it's easier doing the big gigs. So it's hard doing them small little, bars and stuff where you got to kind of sit over in the corner and you can't have a room to hide in, and a green room and all that. Josh Todd, you know him? He's oh, you're a sexy bitch, but you get on top of it. Oh, you a sexy bitch. What is it called? Stupid. What is it? What's the song called now? Isn't it Sexy Bitch? If it's not, they should change it. In a new interview with Neil Jones of Total Rock, Buck Cherry frontman Josh Todd was asked if performing live is where it's at for him and his bandmates. He responded as transcribed, "Yeah, you a sexy bitch. If you want to make a living at this, for sure, you got to get out there and pound on the pavement. Thank God we kind of based our reputation on our live show, because we can still go out there and do this. I'm very grateful for that. I still really enjoy performing. Oh, you a sexy girl. I've seen this on other interviews, but I'm just feeling really comfortable. It took me, what? I've seen this on other interviews, but I'm just really comfortable. What's he got him in a bed? It took me all this time to feel really comfortable where I'm at in every aspect of the music game. So, yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. There was a vast time where Josh Todd was not in a band. He was flipping around, he's trying to figure some stuff out. Some acquaintances, some friends, some younger fellow friends, they moved to California some way back in the day to kind of start a band and get going. Well, they put an ad out and Josh Todd came and sang. This band, I cannot remember what they were calling themselves, but I think it turned into just kind of the Josh Todd situation. Here is what was relayed to me, is that like halfway, and this is with the guys that I know that was on the tour bus at the time, but at some point along their journey during this small tour that they were doing, they learned that the bus had not, the bill didn't go through. So they said they had to load their stuff off the bus on the freeway or on the road somewhere as the bus drove off. I don't know how true that is, but I heard it from 3 different sources that jammed in a band with it. So take that for what it is. Take it for what it is. I've said this on interview. Okay. He's just really enjoying it, and that's where you want to be at. If you're Josh Todd, you want to be back. He did like a band that was his, then he did Josh Todd, and he did Buck Cherry. This is Buck Cherry, man. So get bucked. Asked if he still regrets nerves, if he still gets nerves before some of the biggest concerts that Buck Cherry plays. He says, I get the nerves every night. Yeah, actually, big gigs are easier to do than small ones. Oh, he's not going to talk about the financials of it? More intimate gigs for me, because when you're at a big event and it's sold out, you've got the energy on your side. But when you're in a smaller place, a more intimate venue with no green rooms and nowhere to hide, and then I have to sit there and talk to these people and then just climb up on the stage and play, you feel like you have to work a little bit harder. But it's a lot of fun for us. We've played every size you can think of, and we just have the same mentality. We really just want to be the best that we can be that night. Don't they do a version of Footloose? I want to say they do the Footloose song. This past November, Buck Cherry released a holiday song called Tell 'Em It's Christmas. Oh, tell 'em it's Christmas. Boom, boom, boom. And Happy New Year. Boom, boom. Please tell 'em it's Christmas. Boom, boom. And it'll happen. Boom, boom, boom. Buck Cherry previously released another holiday song, Christmas is Here, back in 2010. They are very festive, aren't they? It's good for them. Buck Cherry's latest album, Volume 10, came out in June 2023. I'd like to get your opinions on that if you've heard it. What do you think of it? The 11-song LP features 10 new Buck Cherry originals. But 10 new Buck Cherry originals. And as a bonus track, a cover of the Bryan Adams classic, Summer of '69. I feel like I'm mixing that up with Footloose. You can't do it like Bryan Adams can do it. Am I right? Can I get a hi-fi on that? I mean, you can't, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're done with that. Guys, Motley Crue, good news, Nikki Sixx. He's the Stalker case. Remember the Stalker case, legal fees? He's awarded fees. And so I was hoping to get some more details because remember, we've never quite spoken about this. I saw this guy. I'm sorry, I'm a little off kilter here, but I saw this guy. I'm sitting in the bus, but you know the bus it's got the side seats, so you can sit and look out the front window, or it's got those side ones. So I'm sitting in the side seat, and we roll up to this stop, and I see this guy outside, and he's got his phone. He's looking at his phone, and he's got the biggest goddamn vape machine I've ever seen in my life. And just in that time that we were sitting there waiting for that light to change, he took a hoot off this son of a bitch and blew the biggest cloud of smoke I'd ever seen. If they could get him to funnel that smoke onto stage for like a Motley Crue show or whatever, people would shit in their underpants. This was a massive cloud, and it just streamed up into the sky. And I'm sitting there, and I was amazed by how big the cloud was. The other day, I'm driving my truck at work, and this big old pickup truck, you know, big old set of nuts hanging down on the back of it, you know. A big cloud shot out of his truck, and it literally hit my windshield, and I smelled that. You know, like when you hear smell burning tires or whatever on the road? This one major cloud blast this guy shot off, I could smell it. I says, oh, that's Cherry Gumball Delight. That's what it is. It's Cherry Gumball. Yep, that's what it is. But anyway, so we're sitting at the bus stop, and I'm thinking to myself, I wonder how many toots this guy... He started to turn as if he was going to go back into his business building. And I was like, I wonder how many of those he can get off. And he got off 7. 7 of them sons of bitches. Right up to I'm opening the door. As I open the door to the building, I blow out the big cloud of smoke and I go in. It was just amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Let's get into this, see if we learn any details about the Stalker, shall we? Motley Crue's Nikki Sixx awarded legal fees in Stalker case. Please tell me something. Please tell me now. Motley Crue bassist Nikki Sixx says that he and his wife, Courtney, have been awarded legal fees in an ongoing case involving a woman who allegedly has been stalking them and their 4-year-old daughter. The 64-year-old musician who resides in Wyoming with his family wrote on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Thank you for that. That's why Blabbermouth's the best. Right there. People can do whatever they want when it comes to my family. People can't. Guys, I'm going to repeat that because now someone just turned the podcast off right just then. And he said, what? He said people can go to Nikki Sixx's house. That's what he said in his podcast. He said people can do whatever they want at Nikki Sixx's house. So I'm going to read that again. People can do what people can't. You cannot do whatever they want when it comes to my family. It's important to hold these people accountable. Sixx previously said that he and his family had 2 stalkers during recent years. He said sentencing for the other stalker was delayed, but is also coming. We are asking for 3 years in jail because we just need peace of mind. 3 years would give us a break. We are using the legal system to hold bad people accountable. When your daughter and your wife get threatened, all bets are off. I agree with him. When Sixx first revealed last November that he had been stalked and harassed by at least 2 people in recent years, he wrote, like many other public figures, myself and my family were harassed and threatened by a stalker. A deranged woman from Tennessee. I thought they were all deranged in Tennessee. Who I have never met or seen before, targeted my wife and child with threats of death and bodily harm. That's not good. This was not some internet troll, but someone who was convinced that he was somehow connected to me. That she was somehow connected to me. Her harassment went on for a long time and got progressively more scary, forcing me to go to court several times and obtain restraining orders. She violated them. She violated the restraining orders multiple times, not just once, not twice, because multiple is more than 2. As a result, the court found the conduct serious enough to hold her in contempt of court and order that she be arrested right there on the spot. I want to thank the judge, the court staff, and my legal team for protecting my family. Now, another stalker from a different part of the country started doing the same thing, going so far as to travel to my house and threaten our lives once again. It's one thing to threaten my safety, but when it comes to serious threats against my wife and children, I mean, what is up with that, though? Why are they so aggroed against, I mean, is it one of those situations where she's like, I'm in love with you and you're in love with me and you're lying to yourself? I mean, it just becomes beyond alarming, quite frankly, if you don't mind me being quite frank about it. They do not deserve this. Thank you to the FBI, law enforcement, the detectives, and the legal and court system for treating these threats with the severity and, dare I say, urgency they required. I will go to any lengths to protect my family. That's a good boy. That's what all people should do, is go to great lengths to protect your family. Or any lengths, right? Because if you say, I would go to great lengths, there might be a few that you wouldn't go for. But if you say any length, I will go to any length. That means all of it, the gambit. Thousands of celebrities across the world are occasionally confronted by fanatics who give them intimidating attention. Last year, research published in the journal PLOS by Idaho State University identified factors that are associated with the tendency to engage in stalking, such as having frequent personal thoughts about a favorite celebrity and being prone to boredom. Another study showed almost half of the threatening fan letters had writers that believed they already had some kind of personal relationship with the celebrity, perceiving themselves as a friend or acquaintance. All right, we're done with that, guys. We're done with that because we got to get to Jacoby Shaddix. Then we got some Johnny 5. We're just going to skip around because he does 8 solid minutes of Motley Crue. When he's not doing Motley Crue, he does Motley Crue. I would not want to do that. If I was John 5, I would say, I think I'm going to do 8 minutes of Rob Zombie. Maybe he does. I don't know. Jacoby Shaddix. Now, if you remember Jacoby Shaddix, he is he's the singer for Papa Roach, and he said that in earlier interviews, he has mentioned the fact that he believes that Papa Roach will be the next Metallica of the next generation. But he's declaring right now, like Kriskin or like what was her name? Miss Cleo. Remember Miss Cleo, the psychic? He's predicting that 2025, not 24, but 25 is going to be a big year for the Papa the Roach. Yeah, Miss Cleo. She had the greatest infomercials that weren't, it was supposed to be like a commercial, but the thing would kick on for like 10 minutes. And it got all crazy and shit with those calls. It's like, girl, you better leave your man. He's fucking a lady right now. And he's like, what? I'm going to call him. Beep, beep, beep. I'm going to get on the other line. Tick, tick. Hold, please, Miss Cleo. Sure, girl. I'm going to wait on the phone for you. Tick, tick. Bop, 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 bop. Catch him in the act. And then the boyfriend would get involved. And then they would all three be on the line. Oh, you got to get out of her life, man. Just some great stuff. I wonder if that kind of stuff is on YouTube. All the old Miss Cleo stuff. And yes, I'm that kind of guy that would waste a solid evening watching it. Let's see how big the year's going to be for Mr. Jacobs. In a new interview with 99.7 The Blitz radio station, Papa Roach frontman Jacoby Shaddix, the Jacobster, we call him, spoke about the band's touring and recording plans for the rest of 2024. He said, right now, early in the year, we've been working on a bunch of new music, and so we're essentially plugging the slingshot back to 2025. It's going to be, what? We're pulling. And so we're essentially pulling the slingshot back. 2025 is going to be a big year for the Papa Roach. It's the 25th, there we go. It's the 25th anniversary of our first album, Infest. Let me give you a couple bars of it. Cut my life into pieces. You remember that? It's on Infest. We've got a book. We've got tours. We've got the whole 9. We've got a whole new batch of music that we're gonna drop. So the kids say, drop it. We're gonna drop it. Hey man, when's the new record gonna drop? Maybe they've always said that, right? Someone's gonna say, yeah, Shane, they've always said the record will drop. I've got fucking Kurt Loder in 1990 on MTV News saying, Generation Swine will drop on. And so new music will probably be coming like later in the year. 3rd or 4th quarter. I use those kinds of terms, business terms for music. So probably in the 3rd or 4th quarter, it's when we'll be dropping new music. It's good to get a little calm before the storm. And so I'm taking this year and just creating tons of music. Writing for Papa Roach. Writing with other artists and really just being as creative as possible. He also sang with Who, The Who. The band. hard to do. Last month, Papa Roach shared a brand new live version of their hit single, Scars. Is that, I cut my heart open, was told myself shot. Featuring a guest appearance by Chris Daughtry. Scars, featuring Chris Daughtry live, is not only a fresh take, it's not only a fresh take on one of the band's biggest hits, but it also serves as the latest release on the band's latest EP. And then didn't, what's his name? Ronnie Radke, didn't he do a version of Last Resort? And it was all piano and stuff. And Jacoby said, oh my God, man, I'm just freaking on this version, dude. You got me jizzing. Scars, featuring Chris Daughtry live, is not only a fresh take on the thing, but the biggest hits, it's also on the EP. The track saw its debut performed live, preceded by an emotional PSA delivery by Shaddix, who pledged a donation. Oh, I'm sitting here being a goof on him, and here he goes. He's going to do something sweet as a sweetheart. Who pledged a donation to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, AFSP, on behalf of each city's attendees, culminating in a $155,000 donation presented in Denver, Colorado. 3 months later, the song sat in the top 10 at rock radio. Is it that good, huh? Because becoming the band's 26th song to reach that plateau. Really? They have 26 tunes? Am I reading that right? 26 tunes that have made the top 10 in the rock radio? That's not the Billboard charts. Last year, Papa Roach, who was impacted by the emotive response each night of the Revolution Live tour, and the work done by the AFSP, that they have since officially renamed the song Leave a Light On, Talk Away the Dark, after the organization Talk Away the Dark campaign, and pledged a perpetual royalty. See, what a sweet thing to do. He's giving them the money from every play. In the streaming verse, he said, I don't want any. Take that song and give it to the AFSP. Any funds from that song, go to them. It's a sweet thing to do. Saves lives and brings AFSP to continue their mission to save lives and bring hope to those affected by suicide long after the Revolution Live tour concluded. Okay, guys, we do have your comments. We're going to watch a bit of John 5 here. Look at him. He's got his plastic suit on. He's got his plastic outfit on. That's got to be comfortable, right? I think he's wearing it in the video. You know, that looks like it's, it's like the same material made out of the Twister board game, It's all that. This feels great on the flesh. Let's go. Let's go play a rock show under hot lights. Yeah, that sounds good. Whenever it smells like plastic burning or anything. Video of Motley Crue guitarist John 5 alive, performing an 8-minute medley of some of the band's classic, Motley Crue, the band's classic songs, with his solo project John 5 and the Creatures on January 28th at Count Vamped. Well, that's fun. It's kind of a vampire club, isn't it? In Las Vegas, Nevada. Can be seen below. Another thing we'll have to look for is vampires. Club Vamped, there's going to be a whole goddamn bunch of them. And if you're a vampire, who do you want to go to a bar and watch? You want to watch John 5. And the Creatures. John 5 and the Creatures kicked off their first tour since he joined Motley Crue as the replacement for Mick Mars on January 26th at the Observatory in Santa Ana, California. Support acts on the Trek, which will wrap up on March 1st. This is the John 5 and the Creatures here. And this whole thing's going to wrap up. He's out there doing it now. Right? Support acts on the Trek will wrap up on March 1st, 2024 at the Observatory North Park in San Diego, California, including former Megadeth guitarist Marty Friedman, February 21st to the 28th. He brings people along with him. Lilac, the band Lilac, they're going to be there. Jared James Nichols, who the hell that? Nikki Stringfield, who dat? And Van Halen tribute act, the Atomic Punks. So that's some of the fun that he's going to have along for the ride. John 5 recently told Illinois Entertainer in an interview that he and his bandmates are continuing to work on fresh material. We have recorded some songs with longtime Motley Crue producer Bob Rock. Are you familiar with him? Did the Metallica records, the good and the bad ones. I mean, the Black Album. He did the Black Album, and he did Saint Anger and stuff. Just the other day, Nicky Six, Motley Crue bassist, you familiar with him, called me, and I was playing guitar over the phone, and he'll play a riff, and he'll sing this melody, and it sounded like it could be something off of a Motley Crue debut album, Too Fast for Love. It's just natural for him to write these songs that I have loved, and lots of people have loved it too. I think we're always going to make new music because, man, this guy is pumping out amazing lyrics. Yeah, and they're so great. Why can't Vince sing them very good? If he's doing amazing lyrics, you want to hear every nuance of the word, like Maynard James Keenan. Amazing lyrics and great music. When we all get together, it's pretty magical. In December, Motley Crue drummer told the Desert Sun about the 3 new songs he and his bandmates recorded earlier last year with Bob Rock, including Dogs of War and a cover of the Beastie Boys' You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party. Wait until you hear it. It's insane. It's not a full album, but that might be down the road a bit. We're always writing and doing stuff, so that's always a possibility down the road, because the road's a long road. And it could be a far way down the road, or just a short little trek down the road, maybe like a half a mile. But we just went to the studio not too long ago and recorded 3 insane tracks, bro. And one of them is called Dogs of War, and we're just finishing up the video for it. For the jonesing for some new crew, for those jonesing, I haven't heard the word jonesing in a long time. For those jonesing for some new crew, people are going to bug out, man. John 5 is playing on it. The guitar work is incredible, brah. And it sounds sick as shit. In September, John 5 told Meltdown of Detroit's WRIF radio station about the new Motley Crue music. I don't know when it's going to come out, but everything is a plan. Everything is mapped out and structured, and everything is, we're going to do it here and there, and blah, 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 blah. So the songs are recorded, they're mixed, they're mastered, and they're so good. I can't wait for them to come out. They're so good, I'm really excited about them. He continued, who knows what's going to happen next? Oh my goodness. I don't know if we'll just release singles or an album. It's up to those guys, so I don't know. We just record and see what happens. It's what we do. We like to just record and see what happens. But these songs, I just spit all over the place. But these songs that we recorded are so good. I mean, really, really good. They're heavy, and the melodies, and everybody's just killing it on these songs. Really, everyone. And I'm saying that nicely. Everyone is killing it in Motley Crue on these songs, okay? Asked how much input he had during the songwriting process, John 5 says, well, we all sat in a room and did it together. Because me and Nikki have written for years. Yeah, we talk about all that shit, right? We written for years and years and years and years, and they could talk all day on the phone, too. Remember he said that. But it wasn't new with Bob Rock. But it was new with Bob Rock. Okay, let's get into your comments. It's that time. It's that time. And coming in the first slot here, would you look at that, Miss Althea? She's coming in the first slot. The Dumbstruck Fool says, hello, Clarice.
You wear Avion skin cream. But not today.
Do you know who the song is? Let's see if she names the same. Did I say the band? David Lee Roth. She used to miss out on David Lee Roth and Wolfie Van Halen. I stopped and just couldn't take the story seriously after the Shalom to the Dome. And I'm not talking about Motley Crue groupies here. Shalom to the Dome. And I'm not talking about the Motley Crue groupies here. Statements, the groupie statements. Cursory points to Diamond Dave for... cursory points to Diamond Dave for laying out schlemiel. Okay, maybe she's going to answer. Really surprised he didn't say schmuck instead. So schmuck is in the family of schmiel. Schlemiel. What's a schlemazel? Okay, here she is here. Schmuck instead. Super points to you for the reminder of its most famous use in Laverne and Shirley's theme song. My favorite sitcom of all time. I love Squiggy. Of course, you got Michael Keaton? No, not Michael Keaton, but what's his name? He's Lenny and Squiggy. Lenny was in... He's Saint Tubbins from Spinal Tap and all of that stuff, all those fantastic Christopher Guest movies. Up until season 5 anyways. Okay, so hold on, I'm reading this again. The most famous in the Laverne and Shirley theme song, my favorite sitcom of all time up until season 5 anyway. What happened in season 5? I gotta know. Miss Althea on Motley Crue. Blu-ray equals Blu-ray. Yawn. And I think a line has been blurred between your Vince Neil and Ace impressions. It's rough. I'm not a professional. I mean, I'm sure if anyone ever caught wind of these, they're like, what a dickhead this guy is. What a real bastard. What if I ever wanted to interview people on my channel? They're like, I remember your goddamn impressions of me. No. Miss Althea on Sharon Osbourne, having someone close to me attempt suicide. This is a sensitive topic for me. I hope she got the help she needed. But I am with you in that I also never viewed Ozzy as a skirt chaser. A term that is equally as relevant as dames these days. Yes. David Lee Roth using dames. Right? Really trying to wrap my head around him going to therapy for sex addiction. Yeah, it just doesn't, as if alcohol and drugs weren't nearly enough. L.A., what is that? Laud. Or are you saying the word loud? Or does that mean something? Laugh, ass, wow, dude. I don't know. Miss Althea on Sammy Hagar. I was distracted by the fact that he now looks like a cross between Carl Reiner and Ed Asner. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Those are two names right there that people are going to have to Google. Those aren't just, off the domes, Oh, yeah. Miss Althea on David Draymond. No disrespect, and I wish him a speedy recovery, but at the same time, I can't help but wonder if his ex-wife is sitting back laughing. Serves you right. After he spilled the tea about the new girlfriend before the ink that dried on the papers, on the divorce papers. My arms have been itching me like crazily. I don't know what the deal is. And Miss Althea on the outro theme. From the Shane After Dark collection, it turned the episode from Jive Talkin to a sexy R&B grooving. Heck yeah. Sometimes I like to take it down there to, into Sassy Town or Sexy Town, as they say. Look at this, Mike Buchanan coming in here. Very light, might I add. And he did. Remember last week he forgot the jokes. Here he is. Mike Buchanan says, it seems that I forgot something last week. Don't tell I figured it out. So this week, all jokes, no filler. Okay, it is time for the Jive Talkin jokes of the week. The other day, I met a genie who granted me one wish. After thinking a minute, I told him, I just want to be happy. So now I'm living in a cottage with 6 dwarves and working in a mine. That's pretty good. Because he is happy, the dwarf. I got it on 2 different levels. I thought that was funny. I thought it was a good joke because it's a bizarre thing to be happy if the genie gets inside your mind and says this would make him really happy, but it's also that you are happy, the dwarf, okay? I'm trying to give up on sexual innuendos, but it's hard. So hard. What do you call a dog that can do magic tricks? A labracadabrador. I just told my wife she should embrace her mistakes, so she hugged me. Oh, not cool. Not to brag, but I have this incredible talent in predicting what's inside a wrapped present. It's a gift. Did you know I have a pet termite? I named him Clint. Clint eats wood. This is his termite jokes now. Termite walks into a bar and says, "Excuse me, where is the bartender?" What's the difference? What? He's on to another joke. A termite walks into a bar and says, "Excuse me, where's the bartender?" Okay. What's the difference between a bad golfer and a bad skydiver? A bad golfer goes whack, darn. A bad skydiver goes darn, whack. Yeah. And then they cease to be. Did you hear about the poker player who broke his arm? He's finding it hard to deal with. I got mugged by 6 dwarves last night. Not happy. That's a callback, what he just done there. Because he is happy, the dwarf. I got mugged by 6 dwarves last night. Not happy. Huh. Why should you never fight a dinosaur? You'll get your ass kicked. That's a good one. That's going to work. There, I think that should be enough. Or too much. Whatever you decide. Bang. Well, we wish you all the best there, buddy. Okay? And please don't feel like you're absolutely have to, post every episode. I appreciate it. I thank you. I enjoy it. But, you guys got lives and shit to do. I totally get that. Evil Eyes coming in. He says, Kane Roberts. So I don't know what that's referencing, but yes, indeed, there is your heart. Chris coming in here. He says, that was from the classic movie Silence of the Lambs. Love your impression. Yes, the intro for last week, of course, was the Q Lazarus, Goodbye Horses, the song that he does when he's got that girl down in the basement, Silence of the Lambs. If you haven't seen that, spoiler alert, go watch it. It's 30 years old now. Christian. Ha ha ha. What a great David Lee Roth impression. Yow yow. Bang. Sticky Doll. Jive Talkin Ecstasy outro song. Wow. Straight out of the Eyes Wide Shut movie soundtrack. Creepy and sexy. Well done, sir. That's giving you a heart, too. Someone already gave you a heart. But you're getting a heart and a thumb for that. Anthony coming in. My friend, can you please do another funny kiss dad and son video? And maybe the aviators can be the subject. I never laughed so hard when you said Christine 16 and shoving it up the Nutty Buddies LOL. It was a classic. Yeah, I did. I tried out one of those things, where they do the quick cuts where it's the same person but 2 people talking. I did one about a father and son that went to a Kiss show. It's a short, so go find it if you can find it somewhere. I never laughed so hard. You're going to end up getting another thumb, buddy, and you got 3 of them over here. I never laughed so hard when you said Christine 16 and Nutty Buddy, LOL, it was a classic. I hope you continue these short videos. Was funny as hell, LOL, LOL. Thanks, Shane D, and keep their laughs coming, Anthony. What's that Billy Joel song? Come out, Virginia. Isn't that Anthony's song? What is Anthony's song? Mama Leone left a note on the door. She said, son, you move out to the country. Look, this guy here, he said, I've never laughed so hard in my life. LOL. You're getting the 4th thumb, buddy. Phil coming in here. Buffalo Bill soundtrack, Silence of the Lambs. Yes, indeed. Cabango, Cabongo. Okay. What you gonna do with your weekend? If you're listening to this right now as it comes out, it's Saturday morning. What are you going to do? You're going to think about changing some things that you know you need to change? Are you going to, do something fun, something creative? Have you been thinking about that thing that you want to do that everyone tells you you're no fucking good at? Why would you ever want to do that? You're not good at that. Someone else does that way better than you do. You got people like that in your ass? Don't listen to them. Be 100% the person that you are deep down in your soul. And if people don't like it, then those people don't need to be in your vector. They don't need to be in your systems. They don't need to be in your area. Okay? You be you. And every time this thing turns off, I have to fiddle with it, which is the problem. That it goes back to 0 beats, 0 everything. And it's just so damn frustrating. Maybe I get a... Oh. Come on, baby. Let's get a beat. Let's get a good beat, man. Traffic jam coming down the road. Everybody moving side to side, get in the left lane, get in the right lane, make a right turn left. Watch out for the bus now. Motherfucker vaping, have a good time. It's my break. What am I gonna do? Vape, 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 vape. Summertime. Jive Talkin. Get on the bus. Ready to rock, ready to talk. Jive, talk, squawk. Here's some news. Who the fuck cares? I do. Jive Talkin with your friend Shane. Gonna go insane, gonna have a good time, gonna flip a burger, gonna flip some fun, gonna flip around, gonna flip it up, gonna flip it down. Looking for the bus. When's the bus coming again? 35 minutes, motherfucker, I missed it. Come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby, baby. Come on, baby, 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 let's jive.